How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew? What do you think? Should the MPs be allowed to debate the lawyers in the House of Commons?
The man who's been waiting in the wings longer than most of us wait for a bus on a Sunday. Imagine waiting decades for a job, only to find out the universe, Karma Sheila if you will, has finally sent him the bill, and it's a monster of a tab. The poor guy can't even visit a church without someone dragging out the family's dirty laundry, airing it for all to see. For years, the royals have swanned about in silly hats, waving from gold carriages. But now, people aren't just bowing anymore. They've got questions, and they're not shy about asking them. Thanks to one gutsy bloke in England, those questions are being yelled right in the king's face, making it impossible to ignore. It's a royal roast, and I haven't been this entertained since a magpie stole Barry's sausage off the Barbie. The drama is as thick as a good Yorkshire pudding. Charles was quick to boot Harry and Meghan for wanting a normal life, but when it comes to Andrew and his scandals, it's all hush-hush, swept under the royal rug. One rule for the favourite, another for the one who married an American actress. It's a tale as old as time, isn't it? Charles is trying to play the steady king, but the Andrew saga is the bad smell he can't shake, no matter how hard he tries. Now, thanks to a heckler, it's front and centre, flashing neon and all, impossible to ignore. The universe is whispering. Payback's a bitch, ain't it, Your Majesty? It's a reminder that even kings aren't immune to the whims of fate. And honestly, you've got to laugh. Because in the end, isn't that what life's all about? Finding the humour in the chaos. So, let's raise a cuppa to King Chuckles and his little problem, and enjoy the show. This absolute legend of a bloke doesn't hold back for a second. He bellows out, "Oi, Charles, what about your brother Andrew?" The words hang in the air, sharp as a knife, slicing through the polite silence of the royal occasion. No small talk, no beating around the bush. Just straight to the heart of the scandal, right in front of the world's cameras. You could practically feel every royal courtier clench for miles around, their faces frozen in a mix of horror and disbelief. But our heckler isn't finished. He keeps pressing, demanding answers. Did Charles know about Andrew's infamous trips with Epstein? Did he ever tell the coppers to go easy on his brother? These aren't just random insults. These are laser-guided truth bombs, questions that cut right to the core of royal accountability. The crowd, desperate to restore order, tries to drown him out with a rousing chorus of "God save the King," the most British crisis response you could possibly imagine. Yet there he stands, one brave soul refusing to back down, while a sea of pensioners and loyalists try to shush him into silence. "Show some respect," they shout, but you have to wonder. Respect for what, exactly? For sweeping scandal under a Persian rug and pretending nothing's wrong? In that moment, this heckler is doing what the media so often won't, holding the king's feet to the fire, demanding answers right there in public, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. He's the people's journalist, the voice in the crowd asking what so many of us are thinking but never get the chance to say out loud. How does Andrew keep getting away with it? The heckler just said what's on everyone's mind, and you could see the shock ripple through the crowd. He's not just a troublemaker. He's the living, breathing voice of public frustration, the embodiment of a nation's unanswered questions. Honestly, I'd buy that bloke a beer any day. He's earned it, just for having the guts to speak truth to power. Let's talk about Charles's reaction. His poker face is Olympic level. As the heckler lets rip, Charles just keeps shaking hands, smiling that tight little smile. He's been trained for this. Ignore the peasants, keep calm, carry on waving. But you know inside he's fuming. His big day, ruined by a loudmouth. He's probably mentally firing security and planning a moat full of crocodiles. The real kicker? The double standard. When Harry and Meghan left, the palace went nuclear. Titles stripped, security gone, all very public. But Andrew, he keeps his mansion, his title, and the family closes ranks. Charles boots out the son who found love, but shields the brother who brought disgrace. It stinks. A hypocrisy so big you could land a jumbo jet on it. The contrast couldn't be clearer. The royal family's priorities are on full display, and the public isn't buying it anymore. The king's mask is slipping. How does Charles cope behind closed doors? Maybe he screams into a velvet cushion or smashes cheap plates in a tantrum room. Or he's on a secret Zoom call with other monarchs, swapping stories about troublesome siblings. More likely, he retreats to his garden, confiding in a prize-winning leek. You understand me, Leaky. You don't bring up Epstein. It's a sad, hilarious image. The King of England seeking solace from a root vegetable. Imagine if he just owned it. Yes, my family's a mess. We're just like you, but with bigger houses. He'd probably win everyone over. But no, it'll be another stuffy statement, hoping it all blows over. The palace will pretend nothing happened, but the public's not fooled. The cracks are showing. The royals are always desperate to seem normal. Kate in a Zara dress, Charles planting a tree. See? They're just like us, the papers cry, as if Charles worries about his credit card limit. It's all a performance. Relatable, but not too relatable. The moment someone treats them like a normal person, the charade collapses. Security gets twitchy, smiles freeze, and the invisible wall goes up. The media calls the heckler a disgrace, while serious papers miss the point. The real story? A bloke in a car park showed more guts than half the press. He asked the question everyone's thinking, exposing the hypocrisy. The monarchy in 2025 is a fairy tale that forgot to end. Aussies love a good heckle, and when it's aimed at the king, we cheer. That's the Aussie spirit, gone global. So what's it all boiled down to? Karma. In the end, no matter how many crowns you wear or palaces you call home, there's one force you can't escape. It's the great equalizer, the silent judge that keeps score when the world isn't watching. You can be king, but you can't outrun karma. She's patient, and she always collects. Even the most powerful monarchs eventually answer to her, whether they realize it or not. She watched Charles kick out his son and protect his dodgy brother, then sent a bloke in an anorak to collect the debt. Every action has a consequence, and the royal family's choices are no exception. This isn't just about one heckler, it's a sign of the times. The world is changing, and the old ways of sweeping things under the rug just don't work anymore. The age of blind obedience is over. People want accountability, even from a king. The public is demanding answers, and the pressure is mounting with every new headline. The royals are learning that lesson the hard way. Every misstep is magnified, every secret harder to keep. The spotlight is relentless. Charles waited his whole life for the crown, only to inherit a throne wobblier than ever. The weight of history and expectation sits heavy on his shoulders, and the cracks are starting to show. He wants to be a unifying monarch, but his brother's past keeps dragging him back. No matter how hard he tries to move forward, the shadows of scandal are never far behind. You almost feel sorry for him. Almost. It's a tough job, but sympathy only goes so far when the wounds are self-inflicted. But then you remember Harry and Meghan, and the sympathy vanishes. The family drama, the public feuds, the headlines that just won't quit. It's a royal soap opera with no end in sight. The lesson? You can build walls, but you can't silence the truth forever. Sooner or later, the voices outside get too loud to ignore, and the truth finds a way to break through. In the end, there's only one ruler who always gets her man. Karma. She's the real queen, the one who never abdicates, never retires, and never misses a beat. God save the queen, I say. But maybe, just maybe, we should be watching out for karma instead.